Former Louisiana teacher Cynthia Perkins will spend 41 years in prison doing hard labor for serving her students cupcakes laced with her husband's sperm. Now, if that doesn't piss you off, you are not human. An article states that a disgraced Louisiana teacher will spend decades behind bars after pleading guilty to horrific crimes against children and admitted to serving her students cupcakes that contain sperm from her ex-husband, who is awaiting his own trial on sex crimes charges. The thing of that is, why do they keep saying ex-husband? I know they are ex now. At the time, it was not an ex-husband. They were together. But since she's gotten in trouble, she's going to try to attempt to distance herself from her husband, but she cannot. At the end of the day, she could have made the choice not to serve those students those cupcakes. She could have threw them in the trash. So this woman is guilty, and I'm glad for the time that she's going to get. The article goes on to say that Cynthia Perkins, 36, agreed to plead guilty and testify against her ex, 44-year-old former Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office SWAT member, Dennis Perkins, who is also charged with dozens of child sex crimes, according to prosecutors. That goes a good cop and this nice little teacher talk. It's hard to tell an evil person because they're going to not make themselves be noticed. You think a pervert is going to present himself as a pervert? No. Or a rapist? They are not. They're going to try to conceal that. Like they're just nice, wholesome, honest folks, which they are not. The article goes on to say that she was sentenced Friday to 41 years at hard labor without parole. Now, that's a good thing. I mean, she's with 36 plus 41. So that is 77. She will be 77 years old when she leaves this Louisiana prison. And you can imagine what she's going to look like after 41 years of hard labor in a Louisiana state prison. Let's read on. Prior to sentencing, the 36-year-old issued an apology to her victims. The nerve. Perkins pleaded guilty to second-degree rape, production of child pornography, and conspiracy mingling of harmful substances. That's the sperm. She not only waived any right to appeal and attempt to avoid conviction, but she also spared the victims from reliving her horrific crimes during this particular trial. Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry said, "Today's conviction is in the best interest of our victims and justice." Cynthia Perkins was a junior high school English teacher until she resigned after police raided the couple's home. The Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office immediately fired Dennis Perkins, who has been a special operations lieutenant. Why didn't they immediately fire Cynthia Perkins? It's like they're always trying to help these people get some type of money. Well, I can retire or resign, but I can keep my pension. That is a slap in the face to the victims, because if y'all had already had information about what these people are doing, all those talk about resigning and taking plea deals, if y'all have all this evidence, why accept any type of plea deals? So we don't want no plea deals because we got you. And whatever time that you're supposed to get, that's what you're going to get. But you got to remember, who are we dealing with? These white people. And white people always say, it's not all of us. Well, which one is it? Which one of you is it? You can't trust the sheriff? You can't trust a teacher? Who the hell can you trust? Investigators said they received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about the Denham Springs couple in 2019. Police seized photographs of the couple posing nude with a child, as well as other evidence while serving a search warrant in October of that year. The couple allegedly raped a child between the ages of 9 and 10. Investigators allegedly found hidden cameras in their attic and bathroom. Landry said, "We are looking forward to holding Perkins accountable for his crimes in the very near future." It goes on to say that Dennis was also charged with obstruction of justice after allegedly tossing his cell phone into a river in North Louisiana after finding out investigators were going to take him into custody. Dennis was a longtime lieutenant with the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Department Special Operations Unit, SWAT, and was fired after charges were filed against him. I understand this was a veteran law enforcement officer who had dedicated a lot of time and effort into this community. Doing what? Raping and fondling children? But as I have said in the past, no one is above the law. That's what Livingston Parish Sheriff Jason Ard said in 2019 when the initial arrests were occurring. I do not condone these alleged acts. I am disappointed. I have always considered Denny a friend and a family member. Oh, he's Denny now. Out of all of this is one thing that is puzzling me. How were they able to find out that these cupcakes were laced with the husband's sperm? That's what I really want to know. I mean, they want to present both of these people are monsters. But she is a monster herself. And I hate the way they try to protect women that do evil things in this country. Well, we're going to let her turn evidence against her husband. But how do we know that she was not the orchestrator of this? She might have turned Dennis out. I've been with quite a few ladies in my day, and I know a freak when I see one. And this lady, Cynthia, is nothing but a freak. And most police officers, whether it's a sheriff or a regular cop, are nothing but a bunch of tricks. And they can easily be persuaded into doing some things that, hey, you're a cop. And you got to realize the forces of evil on this planet. By him being a cop, the forces of evil want to start making him do evil. So you stand up for what's right and for justice, you are doing things that are wrong. And what tempted you into doing these things? I say it was Cynthia. And at the end of the day, like I was saying, you have a choice. Why would he jack off on the cupcakes? Why would she take those and distribute it to her students? Now, I looked up that school. There are black and white kids at that school. But I'm wondering, who did she give these cupcakes to? And looking at this woman now after she's been in prison, after all that bleach wore off her hair, she wants to be a blonde, but she's not a blonde. This woman is really ugly. She's an ugly, freaky, no self-respect, an immoral woman that deserves to get that hard label that she's going to get. And you know how white people look after 67 years, when they get 67 years old, especially a hard labor woman, you're going to be one ugly woman when you get out of prison. And people say, why you keep talking about white and black? Because they keep talking, every time something happens, some white person will come up like, oh, that's not all white people. I beg to differ. It is just that we have not caught you on what you've been doing. We have not heard everything you say. We don't have the ability to look inside your chest to see what your heart is like. So until then, all of you are suspects. Because when you go to the court systems, who protects you? And I'm just saying that 41 years is no slap on the wrist, especially in hard labor. But I'm wondering, if that's a plea deal, what type of time do charges like that actually brings? I'm thinking some of those white students at their school got some of those cupcakes. Now, had she gave it to her black students, probably would have been nothing would have happened. Because one of those white people found out what they were doing. Oh, you got to pay. And like I'm saying, the cops. Oh, now he's calling him Denny. I've been knowing him for years. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You don't know his whole life? Do you sleep with him? Do you wake up with him? Do y'all make love and have pillow talk? You don't know anything about this man. Only what he is allowing you to see. And these people like these perverts are smart enough not to, well, they think they're smart, but they are smart enough not to allow people to see that side of them. Present themselves as they're real helpful, nice, concerned citizens when they are looking to exploit your child. These people should receive the death penalty because as a parent, if I found out somebody was giving this to my child, it's going to be hell to pay. And you owe me. You don't owe no court system. You're going to owe me. And I expect to be paid in full. I looked up that school, as I said, and there are black students there. But I know about Louisiana as well. When you look at that school, it don't really look like a damn school. It's like some little small country town school, not a big school like we used to in Houston. One thing I cannot understand about my people, the black people, why do they put their children in harm's way? In your mind, in your itty-bitty mind, you are thinking that, oh, this is a good school. He's going to get a quality education. It is not that. Your child is just gifted enough to be able to keep up with the class because he's not being taught, but he can listen. And some people have that ability to where they're almost self-taught. All they need is just a little direction. I'm sure when some of the parents met this lady, Cynthia Perkins, they thought, oh, she's so nice and sweet. That's because you people look at the world with one eye while the other eye is closed. You never look at the world with both eyes open. I just don't trust people because I know that people always got some type of angle. They're always trying to get something from you. And I know that people are good at concealing their true identity. So I don't trust people. Especially people that go out of their way to try to get me to trust them. Why are you doing this? I mean, hey, I'm like this here. Either you like me or you don't. I'm not going to go out my way to prove a damn thing to you. If you can't look at my actions and see that I'm a good person, well, hey, that's just on you. I'm not going to try to prove it to you. And a lot of times, people are being conned. And they were talking about how long this lady was teaching school and like she's just been a nice. Well, how do you know she hasn't been doing the same things the whole while she's been teaching? She just got caught over here. What about the other places where she has taught? And with this cop, oh, he's been on the force for such and such amount of years and he's a good cop. How is he a good cop? I'm tired of hearing police talking about good cops. What is the criteria for a good cop? one that makes a lot of arrests. Then when they are caught in something when they do something wrong, they go back and look over those cases and find out that it was a bunch of trumped up charges. There are no damn good cops. Only corrupt cops. Because cops will do any and everything to take you in. That includes fabricating stories, planting evidence. So just because y'all hollering about he's a good cop, be on the force, he's just been getting by for all those years on the force. That doesn't mean he's a good cop. I mean, you try to come up with cops like that, that leads me to believe that you are just like this corrupt cop because you're trying to protect him. Because you feel guilty somehow. These perverts, hey, they only hang with perverts. You know, I've looked it up where the FBI has reported how many racist cops are on the police force within the justice system. Well, if they can come up with those type of reports, why can't they come up with names who these cops are that y'all are saying are racist, that has affiliation with these racist groups? Okay, you can be a racist until you start exhibiting your racism. As long as you don't get caught, you're okay. And that's what happens in this particular case. But as I said, I'm just wondering, did they tell the wrong person? Or in this case, the right person, to where these persons gave them up? And I'm still wondering, how did they find out that there was sperm in the cupcakes? Did somebody take it to the lab? I'm just glad that this woman will be serving 41 years hard labor. I heard about them Louisiana prisons. Boy, ooh, you don't want to go there. I heard about that Angola. And with her getting that amount of time, knowing how America feels about their pure white women, what type of time is Dennis going to get? No one likes child predators. So I'm sure that he is not going to be protected when he gets in prison. Because as I said, no one likes child predators, especially if you have a child. Because when you hear stories like this, you're like, man, if somebody did this to my child, I would do this or that. So no one likes these predators, man. You know, I've looked up the different places around the world where child sex is okay. Saudi Arabia, Yemen, all these other different places where I think in Saudi Arabia, any age is okay. I think in Yemen is like 9 years old. You have different places around the world where these perverts go to have sex with children. And since it's not really legal here in America, they do it behind the scenes. Now, I've heard about teachers over the years, how they invite students to the house, have these little parties, when actually it's nothing but a sex party. That was an old saying. You might get by, but you won't get away. So you perverts have been getting by what you've been doing. But you will not get away because eventually you will be caught and tried and convicted for the crimes that you commit against our children. I had a chance to put my hands on one of these child predators. There's a guy in my neighborhood I found out was a child predator. So I'm talking to this woman on my porch. She had a son. And I noticed this guy kept passing back and forth my house. What did this motherfucker want? So one time he hit that corner, the first thing he laid his eyes on was that little boy. Then he lifted his eyes up and saw me. I pointed at him, I got you. That next week, I got him and drug his ass. When I called the cops about this guy, they pretended if there was nothing they can do. But that's okay. We know what to do. Drag his ass.